ASUS ROG, or Republic of Gamers. They make the motherboard that's stuffed or socketed in my beastly rig, and they also make peripherals such as keyboards and mice. You know what else they make? Controllers. And as I've announced a couple days ago, 2 more models, which have some interesting, albeit somewhat gimmicky features. But as there are rear buttons or back niblets, trigger stops or locks, a customizable software suite, and features that you don't see in your everyday missionary position controller, it's my duty to ravage this controller with diligence. And that's what I'm fixing to do here.
This is your controller captain. We've reached 6,900 feet. Go ahead and start flicking the sticks and mollywopping the back paddles.
You don't like back paddles? How about those rear buttons?
We've tested almost 100 custom and premium controllers, and we're only at the beginning. You need a thumbstick guide or tutorial on how to overclock your controller?
Check out the controller playlist.
Bing bong.
Controller captain out.
Come here. You are in the crosshairs of the controller captain, and there's not much you can do to escape at this point.
It's too late for you. You don't know if I'm over there, if I'm over there, might be over there.
Some of the key features of this controller, and keep in mind we are focusing on the flagship model, the Pro. You do have that tiny built-in OLED display, which unfortunately won't really give you any in-game information like maps or anything like that. Obviously, that'd be super cool, but it will give you some somewhat useful information like the battery life of your controller, and you can also put some cool shit on there like maybe a custom graphic. You do have 3 modes of connectivity. I love to see it, but it is becoming more common. I'm seeing that more and more with Pro or premium controllers. Intuitive rear controls. So they're talking about back buttons, and I had to highlight it over here because because you'll see what we're working with in just a minute. I wouldn't necessarily label it as intuitive. It's going to be serviceable, usable, but my God, it's... You will have trigger stops. It's unclear if these are going to be mouse-like digital triggers, really they're mechanical switches, or if it's going to be a plastic bar or peg that slides out to simply stop the trigger from being pulled all the way. We have experienced both of these types of trigger stops. When I say we, I mean you and I on the channel. We've felt a lot of these different triggers. But what I really like, and I wish Razer would hop on board with this, is that they're using the same software suite, the same program that other PC peripherals such as keyboards, mice, even my motherboard uses, which is ASUS Armory Crate over here. As we're punk-ass Razer can't just use the Synapse app, which controls other peripherals, but all of their controllers always have to have their own unique app, usually on a cell phone or buried in some janky store for Windows and Mac. It's just, if you're a PC gaming peripheral company, Corsair, Logitech, SteelSeries, Razer, HyperX, Rocat, please try to integrate all of your products into the same software suite so you don't have to be running 6 programs in the background for each individual product. It's a real pain in the tuchus. So here's that little OLED screen, and as you can see, you can have your own custom graphic, whether it's just static text or a picture, or you want to have a moving video, basically a GIF, and you also have the status of your controller, such as your battery life and your mic mute. But after reading the fine print in this paragraph, this is what turned me around and took me to Sad Town. This is not a wireless Xbox controller. No sir, no ma'am, no stallion, no stallionette. This has 3 modes of connectivity. Fantastic, bravo, bellissimo, but that's only on PC, so... Cool. That leaves the Xbox with its cheese out in the wind, or that really leaves you tethered, tangled up in a mess of cords. Really just one wire. 2, if you have a headset plugged in that's not wireless. And that's not a huge deal. However, I'm seeing a lot of hype or hubbub around this controller that it is a wireless Xbox controller, and you really do have to dig down to the fine print in that paragraph to be like, well, actually, no, you got to tether it up. But that's not a huge deal. I'm not bashing wired controllers. They do have a couple of benefits. One, at least, you don't have to worry about battery life. Scrolling down here with the old mouse wheel on the mouse, then we get down here to this debacle, this dilemma, this sour peach that we're all sucking on. So I absolutely hate this picture of the rear buttons. Luckily, I busted out my shovel, did a little bit of digging, if you will, and I found some pictures of the rear buttons right here on Googly. Awesome. Let's blow that up a little bit. Enhance. Whoop. Dehance. Rehance. There we go. Perfect. Making up words again. Relance. So unfortunately, this does remind me a lot of the rear buttons that Razer has been using on their Wolverine Ultimate, and now the Ultimate for PS5, the wireless joint that I just reviewed recently, which I gave very low marks in the rear button section. I believe it was a 1 out of 5. I can tell you now it's not over a 2, but I do believe it was a 1. Those rear buttons are serviceable, they are usable, however they're definitely not ideal, and after using absolutely dozens of rear button and paddle designs, this is probably one of the worst. Not probably, it is the worst. It's alongside the PowerA Fusion Pro, which is a horrendous rear paddle design, and this is a bad rear button design. We're talking about ergonomics, fatigue on your fingers, and also just Usability, I mean, they're not removable or anything. You can deactivate them though, that's cool. In software, not on the fly, you can't do shit with these buttons on the fly or these top two bumpers. But if you look at these pictures here, actually you can see the example much better with these little robot fingers. They're extended out at a very awkward angle, just like the Razer Wolverine Ultimate. The Tournament, not so much. The 2-button Xbox controller from Razer, the buttons are in a good position. They're right about here for a quick squeeze, but these are just not the bee's knees. As of now, there is no estimated release date or asking MSRP of this controller. So what is the difference between the Raikiri and the Raikiri Pro? Well, the most notable difference would be this has 2 rear buttons and this is a 4 rear button controller. Let's go over here to the landing page for the standard missionary position Raikiri. Holy moly, well, there's no OLED screen here. What would be here is now a blank panel, stamped or emblazoned with ROG Republic of Gamers, but there's not an OLED screen there for you. That's fine, we're cutting costs. This is a more cheaper economy entry-level controller. You do still have trigger stops, probably the identical trigger stop system that's also in the Raikiri Pro, and then you have 2 pretty poorly placed rear buttons. And you're still going to be able to use the Armory Crate software to do customization, such as response curves for your thumbsticks and trigger dead zones. I need some water. My mouth is drier than the Mojave Desert right now. This is unfortunate. Well, I'm just sitting here on this landing page that ROG, Republic of Gamers, which is the gaming division of ASUS, just like Dell has Alienware and HP has Omen and there's other ones. This also looks quite stimulating. This is a mobile controller. This looks cool too. It's just a quick sidebar. Really added no value to the video whatsoever. Could even edit it out, not going to. But in all seriousness, this is marketed to go alongside their gaming phone. Yes, that's right. There's a ROG gaming phone. I am very excited to get the Raikiri and Raikiri Pro in hand for a comprehensive review. Drop in the comment section below your opinion of these 2 gamepads, and I will see you Stallions and Stallionettes tomorrow. Peace. If you enjoyed the video, liking it helps it to get seen by more gamers. This information will reach and assist them as well, which in turn helps me grow this little channel, which I do greatly appreciate. Subscribe for more content like this. I cover news in the gaming community and industry, tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing, as well as honest gaming product reviews, keyboards, mice, headsets, controllers, mics, chairs, etc. There are some hefty exclusive discount codes found only in the description of my videos and only for the audience here at Gamer Heaven. I have links to all my other platforms and socials in the description below. To get in touch with myself and the Stallions and Stallionettes of Gamer Heaven, join the community Discord, and check me out at twitch.tv where I go live every other leap year on a blue moon if it falls into an odd calendar number, and my pH balance is on point. Just kidding, starting June I'm going to be live streaming a lot. Thanks for watching. This has been AK40 Kevin hosting Gamer Heaven, and I'll see you tomorrow because I upload daily, all the time, 60% of the time, sometimes, most of the time. Peace.